thoroughfare as Orange Health Insurance Scheme kicks off in Ondo State. Motorists lament poor state of Akure Ado Road, seek government's urgent intervention. All Progressives Congress postpones inauguration of presidential campaigns cancelled. And from the foreign scene, anger grows in Russia over partial mobilization to Ukrainian war.
Good evening to you and welcome to the news at 7. I am Oyewumi Ayinigbera. Residents of Ondo State have been reassured that the present administration will sustain and improve efforts at making available affordable health care to them. Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu at the flag-off ceremony of the Orange Health Insurance Scheme for Public Servants and foundation laying of the Permanent Office Complex of the State's Contributory Health Commission in Akure promised that the informal sector will not be left out. The governor also urged traditional rulers and religious leaders to propagate the scheme among the people. Residents and motorists flying the Akure-Ado-Ekiti road have again appealed to the federal government to urgently address the deplorable condition of the road, which has brought untold hardship to them. Those who spoke with Osrc decried the hardship they have been going through on the road in the last couple of days. Our correspondent Joseph Ikugbamiri reports that officials of the Ondo State Agency for Transport were present at the scene to ensure free flow of traffic.
The last 4 days on the Akure-Ado Road, which belongs to the federal government, have been of harrowing experience for motorists and residents of Iguba, Jegele and environs due to the bad state of the road over the years. This disturbing experience forced staff officials of the Ondo State Agency for Transport, led by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Transport, Mr. Toby Ogunleye, to visit to control traffic as palliative measure.
We normally drop passenger here and turn back. Even turn back, say we always spend like 4 hours, 3 hours before we can leave this place.
Upon arriving at the scene, haulage trucks were seen trapped for days due to the failed state of the road at Jegele Village, Police Secondary School and Itaobolu Town. It was a difficult task for school children, government workers as well as private business owners to go to their various destinations until the intervention of youth in the community who gathered money to buy hardcore materials to give heavy vehicles chance to move. Also, the towing truck of the State Agency for Transport assisted to lift heavy vehicles trapped in the murky waters of the bad road. Some residents of the areas called for urgent intervention on the road.
In fact, it's even better today. If you are talking about 4 days ago, at least what we are seeing now is nothing to compare about what happened the last 4 days.
This is a federal road. There is nothing the state government can do about it. Let the federal government do something about it. Let the federal government, because this road is really bad. If the federal government can't do anything about this road, this is how the community will keep suffering.
The Special Transport, Mr. Toby Ogunleye, who stressed that the governor has tried to carry out partial work on the road in the interest of the people, assured them that the state government will soon provide palliative measures on the road.
This is not the only spot. We have another one at the police college there, very close to Itaobolu. Immediately after police college, at Itaobolu also, they are more deplorable than this. So I know we've seen it, covered it, and we are reporting back to the government because the government is government of the people.
Ogunleye, who commended the youth in the area for their communal effort to allow flow of traffic, enjoined them to be peaceful and civil in ensuring free movement of humans and vehicles. Joseph Ikubomire, Osrc News.
The All Progressives Congress APC has postponed the flag-off of its 2023 presidential election campaign and parade walk scheduled to hold tomorrow. The Presidential Campaign Council PCC of the All Progressives Congress APC says the decision was taken to expand its 422-member list tasked with the job to ensure victory for its presidential candidate Bola Tinubu and his running mate Kashim Shettima. The Director General of the PCC, Simon Lalong, in a statement, said the need for the expansion of the list is to accommodate more stakeholders and interests within the APC family. No new date has been picked for the flag-off. Meanwhile, as political parties begin campaigns for the 2023 poll tomorrow, the Independent National Electoral Commission has warned them to avoid violence during the exercise. The chairman of INEC, Mahmoud Yakubu, said abusive and slanderous words could provoke violence during the campaigns. Yakubu, at a workshop in Lagos, warned that the commission will do everything within its powers to ensure that the 2023 general election was free, fair, credible, transparent, inclusive, and verifiable. According to him, candidates and their supporters as well as the media have a responsibility to operate within the confines of the law and the provisions of the Commission's regulations and guidelines, adding that issue-based campaigns are essential for safe electioneering. In the meantime, the Senate has commenced debate on a bill for an act to provide for the rotation of power between the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. The bill, which had passed the first reading earlier this year, is generating controversy as some senators argued that it will bring about unity and sense of belonging for all, especially ethnic minorities, while others say it will go against the Constitution of Nigeria. However, the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, has advised the sponsor of the bill to stand the bill down and rework it for presentation with specific prayers. You're still watching Osrc News at 7. After the break, we'll bring you more stories. Please don't go anywhere. You are welcome back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook, Osrc TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel, Osrc TV Ondo. The Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, says it is verifying and reconciling revenue collections in the solid minerals sector of the economy. The Federal Commissioner, RMAFC, Tokunbo Ajasin, stated this at a strategic meeting on the Commission's 2022 nationwide monitoring of revenue collections of the Nigerian mining sector in Ondo State, held in Akure. Osrc's Ibekele Ulugun now completes the story.
RMAFC delegation led by the Commissioner Tokunbo Ajasin was in Ondo State to monitor revenue collection of the Nigerian mining sector. The Federal Commissioner who led the team said 25 enterprises exported minerals in 2019 with no record of royalty payment, while 2.76 billion naira outstanding liabilities have been established against 2,190 mining companies nationwide, which he said arises from failure to pay the annual service fees for their respective mineral titles. Ajasin said the Commission was empowered to monitor all revenue accruals from the extractive industries to ensure prompt and accurate remittance to the Federation accounts.
The meeting also established a harmonious working relationship among the government of Ondo State, the Grand Park, and the Ministry of Mines and Solid Minerals in the area of increasing revenue accruals and remittances from solid mineral sector to the Federation account. As a follow-up to the exercise, the Commission is again compelled to dialogue with stakeholders on the findings and recommendations of the 2016 exercise. with a bid to come with strategic solutions to the observed challenges.
According to the RMAFC Commissioner, the monitoring was a follow-up on the 2016 exercise to assess the challenges hindering optimum revenue collection from the sector. He sought the cooperation of all participants to use the opportunity to harness the revenue potential in the solid minerals sector to boost internally generated revenue of the state. The State Commissioner for Finance, Wale Akinteruwa, said the process of allocating the 13% derivation on crude oil paid to the state across the nation is dependent on the effective monitoring of revenue and the collection of established liabilities from mineral resources from the state. Akinteruwa noted that the cooperation and collaboration given by the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Energy, Mines and Mineral Resources, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, and other relevant stakeholders in the state to enforce payment of the reported liabilities will go a long way in fulfilling the objectives of the exercise and a means of driving revenue for the state.
You will agree with me at this juncture that the process of allocating the 13% derivation of crude oil paid to the states, which includes our own Sunshine State, is dependent on the effective monitoring of revenue and the collection of established liabilities from mineral resources. Therefore, I urge you to accord full cooperation to the RAMFAC team and be committed to achieving the desired goal.
The Commissioner also said the present administration will step up efforts to facilitate the collection of revenue as listed in the Native Audit Report 2022. Igbekele Ologun, Osrc News.
And now back to the full report on the flag of Orange Health Insurance Scheme. And the Governor, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, at the flag of ceremony of the Orange Health Insurance Scheme for the public servant and foundation laying of the permanent office complex of the State Contributing Health Commission in Akure, promised that the informal sector will not be left out. The Governor also urged traditional rulers and religious leaders to propagate the scheme among the people. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole completes the story.
The setting was the International Culture and Event Center, the Dome, in Akure, as Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu led top government functionaries, political associates, traditional rulers, and religious leaders to flag off the Orange Health Insurance Scheme for public servants in the state and foundation laying of the permanent site of the permanent office complex of the State's Contributory Health Commission. The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Banji Ajaka, said the scheme will promote affordable healthcare service in the state.
The Orange Health Insurance Scheme has brought light to the public service of Ondo State with its unique plan aimed at reducing the frequency of absenteeism from work due to sickness, prolong the life of workers.
The head of service, Mr. Kayode Ogundele, while congratulating the governor on his national honor as the commander of the Order of Niger, CON, applauded him for making the health insurance scheme available to public servants in the state.
This is one feat that stands Mr. Governor's administration out among the Committee of States regarding health insurance.
The special advisor to Governor Akeredolu on Health, Professor Dayo Faduile, applauded the governor for his passion to turn around the sector through purposeful programs and policies.
This is certainly the most pragmatic way to solving our dwindling health indices, as out of the pocket payment for health has failed woefully.
The Director General, Ondo State Contributory Health Commission, Abiodun Oyeneyin, congratulated public servants in the state for the opportunity to benefit from the scheme.
What is better than being able to draw from a contributory pool to fund your healthcare and that of your spouse and children below the age of 80 as a civil servant?
The Director General of the National Health Insurance Authority, Professor Mohammed Sambo, represented by Femi Akingbade, commended the governor for keying into the scheme, which he said will better the life of residents.
Our state office has been strengthened to actually assist the Ondo State Health Contributory Commission in every way.
In their messages of goodwill, some concerned individuals applauded the state government and charged public servants to make good use of the opportunity. Governor Akeredolu, who highlighted interventions of his administration in the health sector, appreciated the leadership of labor unions in the state, noting the benefits of the scheme to families of public servants in the state and charged them to guide against its abuse.
In spite of obvious economic constraints across Nigeria, we are opposed to an allocation of 3% of gross salary of each public servant under the sharing ratio of 1.8% by the state government and 1.2% by individual public servants. This is a premium family health insurance plan. It covers you, as I mentioned, your spouse, and 4 biological children.
Akeredolu urged traditional rulers and religious leaders to propagate the initiative among the people, with a promise that the informal sector will not be left out.
The scheme is flagged.
High point of the event was the enrollment of Governor Akeredolu into the scheme and groundbreaking of the permanent office complex of the state's contributory health commission. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
The Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 general elections, Mr. Peter Obi, has hailed Governor Akeredolu for his bold, courageous stance on issues of national importance. The former governor of Anambra State, who was at the government house in Akure to condole with Governor Akeredolu and family members over the demise of his mother, also commiserated with people of the state, especially the families of victims of the June 5 Owe church terror attack. Mr. Obi, while applauding Governor Akeredolu for being the voice of the voiceless, noted that the governor is a great leader that Nigerians are proud of. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole again has the reports.
Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, his wife Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, and some members of the State Executive Council played host to the Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 general elections, Mr. Peter Obi, who was at the government house in Akure on a condolence visit. Mr. Obi hailed Governor Akeredolu for standing up for the people of his state and the country at large.
You represent one of those things Nigeria desire: ability to speak the truth, no matter the consequence. What is lacking here is that we've chosen to close or keep quiet when things are going wrong. You are the man here who will always speak when it is wrong. And that is what we here.
Governor Akeredolu, while welcoming Mr. Obi, thanked him for the visit and also identifying with the people of the state following the recent church terror attack.
What happened on the 5th of June was really horrendous. It was something we never expected because it's not something that is common in the South. Let me say that. It's not common. How do you come into a place of worship? You did not kidnap anybody. You did not take a penny. You only came with one. Just the aim was to maim and kill. And at the end of the day, you are able to take 41 lives. It's something so painful. And up till now, I'm not sure we are gotten out of it totally. 41. I said to myself, on Mama's passing, no doubt, I've said to so many people that look, my mom's passing, we will miss her sorry, but we give the Almighty God all the praise, thanksgiving, because she left at a ripe age of 90.
The governor, while narrating the church attack, described it as horrendous. He promised to sustain and improve efforts at securing the state and its people. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, the body of evangelist Grace Akeredolu, the mother of Governor of Ondo State, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, will be interred on November 12, 2022 at St. Andrew's Cathedral in Owo. Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, in a statement on behalf of the family, said a service of songs will hold on the 10th of November at St. Matthias Anglican Church in Ibadan and a commendation service at St. Anne's Anglican Church also in Ibadan on the 11th of November. The governor also expressed his gratitude to all those who reached out to his family since the transition of his mother. Akeredolu appreciated the love and sympathy of political leaders, royal fathers, religious leaders, community leaders, heads of security agencies and public officials, among others. The governor also sought the prayers and support of the people of the state and Nigerians. And now, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has described the late former Executive Director of Operations of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Rotimi Fashakin, as a dependable ally. Governor Akeredolu, who was reacting to the news of the death of the late Fashakin, said the death of the former spokesman of the defunct Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, was a big blow to Ondo State, the All Progressives Congress, APC, and the country at large. The governor, in a statement, said Fashakin had shown passion and commitment to the good of the state and its people, noting that the state is pained by his passing. Governor Akeredolu prayed that God will grant him eternal rest and give his family the fortitude to bear the loss. Residents of Fanny B area as well as Mother and Child Hospital area at Okiaro, both in Akure, the Ondo State capital, have lauded the Akeredolu administration for rehabilitating the roads in their communities. Osrc's Olumide Adeluwoye, who visited the two areas, reports that the resident also commended the construction company which handled the road project for a good job.
At Fanny B, some residents who spoke with Osrc crew explained that before now, accidents were common in the area. For Mrs. Deborah Osho, Samuel Olarewaju and Ebube Ikeshuku, Governor Akeredolu had stayed true to his words to construct the road, thus bringing succor to the people after so many years.
Before it was bad, very, very bad, but we thank God now that everything is okay.
Even thank God for the government, first of all, because the way the road it is now, very okay.
At Modern Child area of Okiaro, these residents decreed the former state of the road, expressing appreciation to the Ondo State government for the intervention after many years of neglect by previous administrations. The consultant in charge of the project, Oluyemi Adekunle, said his company is confident that the project will stand the test of time because quality was not compromised at any point.
The total length of this road is 1 kilometer, 100 meters. You can be able to withstand all the traffic loads coming in.
The Commissioner for Infrastructure, Lands and Housing, Raimi Aminu, emphasized that the Akeredolu administration will always attend to the needs of the people of the state.
Most of the roads that we are seeing now, ask anybody, any resident within the area that has been constructed, if any of them have ever been to Mr. Governor or have ever been to any commissioner, we selected those roads based on their needs, level of decay, and the population.
He reaffirmed the government's commitment to complete all ongoing projects across the state while prioritizing the needs of the people. Olumide Adeluwoye, Osrc News.
On business, the Central Bank of Nigeria has raised the monetary policy rate MPR, which matches interest rates to 15.5% from 14% to tame rising inflation. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, at the end of the bank's monetary policy committee meeting in Abuja, said the committee voted unanimously to raise the MPR. The Apex Bank governor said members deliberated the impact of the widening margin between the current policy rate of 14% and the inflation rate of 20.52%. He said the option of reducing the policy rate was not considered, as this will be gravely detrimental to reining in inflation. And now to the foreign scene. The Kremlin has admitted it's made mistakes in its mobilization of hundreds of thousands of reservists to fight in Ukraine. The move has sparked anger. An exodus of Russian men and demonstrations have been held across the country. Joseph Ikugbomire reports.
This is an army enlistment center in Siberia. A young man opens fire, reportedly upset that his best friend had been called up to fight. Osrc is more than 6,000 kilometers from Ukraine, but the war is no longer distant here. Rostov-on-Don is much closer to the fighting just across the border from Ukraine. The emotion here: sadness, fear, and defiance.
Everybody is scared. The main thing is for him to come back alive and healthy.
I'm positive. I will come back alive and healthy. It's going to be okay. I'm a sergeant in the reserve.
As the reservists leave for the front line, an admission from the Kremlin that has made mistakes implementing the draft.
Очень нужную работу проводят и наши отечественные журналисты, и представители общественных организаций, и общественные организации. И это очень важно. Это очень важно. Информация доводится и до.
Most of those who don't want to fight have not protested. They have simply left. Thousands of cars queuing at the border with Georgia. Frustration breaking out among those stuck in the 20-kilometer-long queues. Those who have made it to Georgia's capital, Tbilisi, say they feel safe here.
Многие другие боимся того, что нас против нашей воли.
We, like many others, fear that against our will, they could draft us to go and kill peaceful people in Ukraine. We are completely against this war, and we call it for what it is. It's not an operation, it's a war which Russia is conducting on the territory of Ukraine. For us, like for others, it's scary to die and to kill others. And for what? We don't understand. Therefore, we decided to flee at this time.
Back in Russia, sporadic protests continue. Jakhovsk is the capital city of the Sakha Republic. These people choose traditional dance to demonstrate their opposition to the draft. 24 of them were reportedly later arrested. A recognition by the Kremlin that mistakes have been made in the draft may or may not be enough to calm the protest, but that maybe beside the point of Russia annexes large parts of eastern Ukraine with the redrawing of the frontiers, enabling Moscow to use enemies to defend what will be the motherland. Joseph Ikugbomire, Osrc News.
And with that report from the foreign scene, we conclude the news tonight. But before we go, a quick look at the top stories. We told you in the news that Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has flagged off the Orange Health Insurance Scheme for public servants in Ondo State and has reaffirmed his dedication to workers' welfare. Residents and motorists plying the Akure-Ado-Ekiti road have again appealed to the federal government to urgently address the deplorable condition of the road, which has brought untold hardship to them. The All Progressives Congress APC has postponed the flag-off of its 2023 election campaign and prayer work scheduled to hold tomorrow. And from the foreign scene, anger grows in Russia over the partial mobilization of citizens to fight in the Ukrainian war. And that's the news tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Good evening.